What's happening, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Casual Highlights, where we strive to educate, inform, and inspire while having conscious conversation in sports. And y'all already know what time it is. I am the resident of the Chiefs Kingdom. Been about this life for quite some time now. You know, when y'all was talking, celebrating America's team, the Cowboys and America's team too, the New England Patriots. You know, us in the Midwest. You know, we were just like, come on, Chiefs, and we was there during them seasons where we didn't have no offense. All we had was defense, and then we was there when all we had was offense and no defense. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So my top five points that I want to make about yesterday's game. Let's go to point number one. Gabriel Davis had 4 touchdown receptions. That was an NFL record. And I believe he had over 206 yards, had 4 touchdowns. But I want to point, the reason why he had the majority of those touchdowns is because of one person who was not in our secondary, and that was the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger was not in our secondary. So because the Honey Badger was not in the secondary, of course Gabriel was going to get 4 touchdowns. Now, he might have got 1 or 2. But I know one thing Tyron wasn't going to have. We ain't about to score no 4 touchdowns on us now. Now, stop it. Stop it. But I believe, the defense made the plays that they needed to be made. Well, neither here nor there. But Gabriel Davis was a huge takeaway. And he's another reason why he was a huge takeaway is because I'm going to be looking for somebody in fantasy football in the fall. And he'd be on my radar as one of my, utility receivers that's on the bench. Somebody on bye week, I'll put him in there. Okay. All right. Number 2, Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. I think the combination, think about this. They were 4 for 4 on 4th down. I believe they made the decision after the New England Patriots game that Monday when they got back in to work to prepare for the Kansas City Chiefs that they were going to go for it on 4th down. I need my glasses because I can't be, I'm getting a little bit older now. I need my eyes. I need an extra pair of eyes. But I believe that Monday that they went in there, that they were determined. Them, Sean McDermott, Brian Dable, they all sat down and said, we're going to go for it on 4th down. Because in order to keep this explosive Chiefs offense, because of the respect of the Chiefs offense, we got to make plays. Yes, we have the number 1 defense in the National Football League, but this offense is special with all these different weapons and tricks and magic and Grim Reap style goodies. We got to keep the Chiefs off the field. And the game plan that Brian Dable had for Josh Allen was phenomenal. To put Josh Allen, I want y'all to think about this, is between the rival of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Their stats, if you look at the game, their stats were pretty much identical. They ran when they needed to run. They made the throws that they needed to make. All that, and they did all that, That's what happened. They made plays. This is officially a rivalry now between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be a rivalry between the next 7 to 10 years. But to get back to the point, 4 for 4 on 4th down, you knew ahead of time anything at midfield or beyond, we got to keep the Chiefs off the field because that is a special. And Sean McDermott, man, he used to work under Andy Reid. He's from the Andy Reid tree. Duh, he know what time it is. Number 3, the Cheetah, Tyreek, Travis Kelce, and we got Patty Holmes, a new name, the Grim Reaper. Made the plays that counted the most. They made the plays that needed to be made at the critical time. That needed to be made. Pretty much, I think both defenses stopped stopping people. That's what it was. Josh Allen wasn't going down. Patrick Mahomes wasn't going down. They were getting out of sacks. I mean, they was doing unbelievable stuff. And to be quite honest, Travis caught that game-winning touchdown. Tyreek Hill turned him, burned his own. I didn't think Tyreek was going to score at first. He going to get down and we're going to get it close. Man, that man burned everybody. When it was time for the Cheetah to make a play, the Cheetah made a play. When it was looking grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper, says Coach Andy Reid. When you got to be grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper. Man, it's probably motivational speakers, pastors, rabbis, evangelists, prophets. Man, they're gonna find some sermon material off of that statement, on the Grim Reaper. Somebody, Eric Thomas or somebody, Mike Todd, stay away from this topic. Don't you go talking about this. No, you on time out right now. Hey, from props and all that stuff. You on time out. Anyway, Tyreek and Travis made the plays that needed to be made. The Grim was 13 seconds. 13 seconds left. Cause I put on my Facebook, I said, man, we gave Josh Allen too much time. And then somebody put, y'all gave Patrick Mahomes too much time. Imagine the lesson that we can learn out of this is what you do with the little bit can be a lot. Taking the small things, taking the littlest stuff, and using what you have and making something out of it. 3 plays got down the field, got in field goal range with 3 timeouts. They taught us something, especially the Cowboys and Dak Prescott and them, how to manage the play clock and how to use what you have in your tools. That's point number 3. Number 4, Harrison Butler shook off some kicking struggles, our kicker. He did miss a 50-yard kick before halftime, and he also missed an extra point. So I was looking at these 2 kicks. I said, okay, so he left 4 points on the board. And Harrison Buckner has a huge leg, and every now and then he get, he be out there in space with his kicking. Sometimes we be like, bro, what's going on with you? I remember last year he had a little bit of struggle briefly, and I said a wind factor, maybe a little bit of wind factor, but I was a little concerned about that. But when it counted, Harrison Butler stepped up, made the kicks that counted to get us in overtime. And we got overtime, and we won the toss, and that was a wrap. Well, pretty much whoever won the toss, you was gonna win the game. And to be honest, the Bills had the better defense. So you're the rated number 1 defense. You should be able to stop the number 1 offense and make the plays that are needed. Also, point number 5, sitting back, thinking about this game. Point number 5, 4 years, 4 straight AFC Championship games at Arrowhead Stadium. 4 straight. Never happened before. The years before, we had never hosted an AFC Championship game. Never in the history. And now we got 4 straight. I want to take you back to the year 2019 when we played our first AFC Championship game against New England. Nobody had Super Bowl experience, barely had any playoff experience. We were just raw coming out there. The only people who had the playoff experience was Andy Reid and some of the coaching staff as coaches. But for us to now have that experience, we took that experience now to know what it feels like to win, and to take that experience into last night and to play the way that we played. Phenomenal. So lesson number 5 is just being able to understand what it takes to be a champion, the heart of a champion. To be 4-4 to start the season. We looking at, us Chiefs fans looking at the schedule is like, well, shucks. Pretty much everybody else is above 500. Are we going to get out after the Tennessee game? How are we going to get out this funk right now? Skating by the Packers, skating by the Cowboys, making the plays that were needed to be made. And then when we played the Raiders, we found our groove. That's how that thing worked right there. When you play the Raiders and you play the Broncos and then when we played the San Diego Chargers, game on. Extra bonus for you. The best quarterbacks right now in the National Football League are in the AFC. The AFC is loaded. You got Mahomes. You got, Grim Reaper. You got Josh Allen. Lord, we got to deal with Justin Herbert twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year. Joe Burrow is that dude, all right? Joe Cool is that dude. Lamar Jackson. Then you got up and coming Mac Jones from New England. You got Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be, with the right coaching coming to him, he's going to be something. He ain't going to be nothing nice to mess with. That's 7. And I'm going to throw somebody in there you might not agree with. But I think he makes winning plays, but he's over 30. I think he's near 29, 30. And that's somebody in our division, and that's Derek Carr. With the right coaching and if he can making the certain plays and they stay out of penalty trouble, Derek Carrs are up in there. So you got 8 out of the 16 teams in the AFC with 7.5. Well, no, I'm gonna say 8. 8 out of the 16. That's about that life with the quarterback. That's got a prime quarterback. That's got a prime, outstanding quarterback. And the AFC is in good hands. The NFC, everybody over 30. There's no really like big time quarterback that's over there in the AFC in the NFC. I mean, you got Rodgers. He might come. I got a feeling Rodgers is going to come to. That'll be dope if Rodgers can come to Denver, because we can finally see Patty against Aaron Rodgers. We'll see what happens with that. But when you sit down and think about it, what dominant quarterbacks are in the NFC? It ain't really too many. That's in the NFC. Everything, most of your dominant, your big time quarterbacks, AFC. You look at right now the NFC Championship game. You got Garoppolo. Garoppolo don't really scare nobody. Not really. He wins games, but he a manager. Stafford, okay, he ain't like a Burrow. Would you take Stafford or Burrow? Now, if this was Stafford 10 years ago, okay, maybe we would consider putting Stafford. But it is what it is. But that's my time. Till next time, Hygh, God is love, and disrespect your senses.